At first, the instrument tray looks complete until you notice what still does not belong. A surgery case moves forward, and suddenly your bench starts asking more from you. The tools are still now, but nothing here is truly finished yet.
Tray assembly sounds careful until an urgent case begins waiting inside it. Decontam sounds procedural until contamination starts shaping every movement you make.
You enter with gloves, metal, steam, and no extra time to waste.
The set wants completeness, but the next case outside wants readiness. You are not building a tray, only the gap between missing and ready.
Nobody sees the pressure in sterile processing once the doors close behind you. They only notice when the instruments are not ready yet. So your hands start sorting before your thoughts finish naming each piece. Every ready set asks for safety, then hides the labor inside it. You learn quickly that sequence matters almost as much as speed. And speed matters more than anyone outside this room will admit. Before the next request arrives, your wrists already know what the shift wants. No one explains the rules because the rules are already on the table. If one set stays incomplete, another room starts feeling it too. A full department teaches you that readiness is really chain reaction pressure. You are not preparing one tray, only the idea that no case should wait. The hospital looks calm because your urgency stays folded under process. Tray assembly becomes clamps, scissors, handles, indicators, and repeated checking. Decontam becomes the space between what was contaminated and what can move clean. You start hearing urgency inside words that sound completely routine. Can you turn this set means faster than your shoulders want to go? We need this soon means the next case has already moved on without you. The tray list stays clean on paper, while the work stays physical around it. It never mentions sore fingers, only sequence, instruments, count, and completion. You notice how pressure moves through sterile processing without getting loud. A look from the OR side can move your body faster than speech. And your body learns to answer before your mind finishes translating it. The case card is not the only thing you are pushing tonight. You are pushing the gap between used instruments and procedural readiness. You are pushing the promise that the next team can open a complete set. And you are pushing your own body harder than the tray will remember. Even the count sheet has timing, and breaking it feels like failure too. You sort while scanning, while wrapping, while carrying the next request in your head. The worst part is how ordinary the pressure starts sounding. A calm tone can still hurry you harder than a shout. By now, your hands know the set before your back agrees. The department keeps moving, and you keep disappearing inside the readiness. Your fingers start tightening around the instrument before the tray is halfway built. A glove held too long begins to feel heavier than the tools themselves. You inspect one piece while already remembering the next 5 positions. Every reach across the assembly table asks your shoulder another private question. A damp patch by the sink changes the meaning of hurry. You keep moving anyway, because the next case is watching the set, not your knees. Nobody outside knows how many times your grip already corrected the tray.
They only see the set released, not the strain beneath it. The decontam side always feels smaller when you are carrying the most risk.
And that is when your movements have to look most controlled. A request from the room arrives politely, and your body still flinches.
Because polite reminders can still cost minutes you do not have. You say almost ready while recalculating the set in your head again. That is the trick here. Calm in your voice, triage underneath.
Your forearm burns first, then your shoulder, then your lower back. Pain arrives quietly, then stays longer than any tray ever does.
The cart catches once, and your stomach drops farther than the wheel does. You recover fast enough that nobody notices, which almost makes it worse.
When sterile processing gets slammed, kindness thins out before the room admits it.
You realize the job is not hard because the instruments are dirty. It is hard because every dirty set is already carrying someone else's urgency. Even your careful sequence can be called slow when another case starts waiting.
So you teach your body to negotiate with protocol and strain. Wrist first, then shoulder, then back, then whatever pride remains.
The humiliation is not missing one piece, though that fear stays close. It is being rushed by people who only see the unopened wrapper.
You push case carts through bright corridors and feel smaller beside every ready room.
The hospital keeps moving, while your body keeps quietly bargaining. You feel closest to breaking when the tray almost looks done.
Because that is when the next request is most likely to find you.
Then another technician nudges the cart straight without saying anything. It is such a small help that it almost hurts more. For one tray, the sequence feels less like punishment and more like work. You and another technician clear a set without losing the order.
Somebody says, "Nice save," and your chest believes it too quickly.
That tiny mercy carries you farther than the break room ever does.
For a minute, you imagine finishing the shift without feeling ashamed.
The trays start landing cleaner, smoother, and closer to the list.
Even your breathing begins to feel like it belongs to you again. Takdao.
Then another urgent set turns one calm bench back into scramble.
One urgent request becomes 3 more tasks you do not have hands for.
The department shifts, and every unopened set seems urgent at the same time.
Your pace stays even, but your back starts arguing again.
That earlier kindness still matters, but it cannot slow the wave.
You pivot a full cart and feel the handle slipping in your glove. A nurse thanks you warmly while you are already behind again.
No one designed this moment for comfort, only for readiness.
That is when the trap becomes painfully clear to you. You are most visible when you look the least human inside.
And your best set can vanish the second another case opens. By now, your face has gone blank, just to keep the shift moving. You stop thinking about perfect trays and start thinking smaller.
One clean turn with the cart without clipping the door frame.
One set wrapped before the next urgent request reaches you.
One complete tray that still feels careful instead of rushed. The loophole is small, and you learn it by surviving enough shifts.
You stop chasing flawless and start protecting sequence, completeness, and breath.
You stage your cart before the next urgent set ever reaches you. You save your back on corners because pride cannot push the cart. And still the room can bury good rhythm under one late request.
So the real skill is not speed alone, but controlled recovery.
It is knowing which set moves now and which task can wait.
It is hiding your panic so the room does not inherit it. It is taking one breath before the next clean pass begins. The hospital moves on long before the shift ends inside you. Long after the carts are still, you are still clearing proof.
Wraps seal, shelves fill, and the set starts losing its last traces. This is when your face goes quiet and finally belongs to you.
But the soreness stays because the body keeps cleaner records.
Another case will arrive and ask for the same readiness again.
Your labor disappears, so the tray can look ready without effort. And that disappearance is what follows you home afterward. No one asks if your hand still aches turning the doorknob. No one photographs the metal smell after it leaves your gloves.
But your wrist remembers, and your back remembers, and your shoulders remember.
By morning, the department is gone, and the ache stays honest. You learn the hospital was never built to hold your strain. It was built to hide it behind one more complete tray.
If this story stayed with you, let it stay a moment longer. Subscribe for more lives hidden behind the work people depend on.